With 120 votes in favour, the Albanian Parliament has approved the establishment of a special commission to investigate the former Interior Minister, Tahiri, on the issue of drug trafficking, to be led by an opposition MP. Artur Meçollari's involvement in the negotiating group for the Maritime Agreement continued to be debated in the Security Commission, where Defence Minister Xhaçka was called to answer questions. During his stay in the US, Prime Minister Rama received the Cultural Pluralism Award from the head of the Commission for the Protection of the American Heritage in the World. Good evening. It's 6 o'clock on Tuesday, the 6th of March, 2018. Welcome to the English edition of Aura News. My name is Alexandra, and I'm here to bring you the day's top stories from across the country, translated into English. The Parliament approved shortly before midnight the establishment of an investigation commission on the role and responsibility of institutions in spreading the marijuana cultivation phenomenon. The Commission is also tasked with investigating the executive activity in the case of former Interior Minister Tahiri, to whom an allegation of involvement in trafficking in narcotics has been filed. The establishment of the investigative commission was an opposition request, which also received the approval of the majority. Thanks to the acceptance of a package of amendments presented by the Socialist Movement for Integration, the law on the evaluation of police officers also received the support of this political force, despite the Democrats voting against it. Last November, Tahiri's arrest request was rejected by the majority, as they believed that the prosecution did not submit any evidence or facts to substantiate its claim. The inquiry commission will be chaired by the opposition, with the deputy head of the Democratic Party, Edi Paloka, tasked with the responsibility. Other members will be Enkeled Alibeai, Muslim Murizi, Flamur Noka and Endrit Brahimlari from the SMI. The deputy chairman of the commission will be the MP from the Socialist Party, Ermonela Felai. The majority managed to change the stance of the part of the opposition, that of the Socialist Movement for Integration, to adopt the law on the evaluation of police officers, with the same model being applied to Albanian prosecutors and judges. Interior Minister Fatmir Jafai's initiative was supported by the SMI after the majority agreed to the 19 amendments introduced by the SMI. The law will be implemented in 3 phases. In the first phase, 300 senior executives and officers will undergo professional valuation and asset verification, to pass then to the mid-level officers and then on to all other police employees. As mentioned in the previous article, the Parliament did approve the draft law on the re-evaluation of state police employees, with thanks to the votes of the Socialist Party and Socialist Movement for Integration. Deputy Minister of Interior, Julian Hodai, at a special press conference, emphasised that this decision will increase security in the country. We appreciate the attitude of the SMI parliamentary group, especially the MPs directly involved in constructive talks. On the other hand, we have regret for opposition MPs who didn't support the adoption of the law. This reform is clear evidence of the will of the government and the Ministry of Interior to build strong relations and standards for people who act with integrity, to build law enforcement institutions and to raise them to European standards. The police and other law enforcement agencies do not belong to either the government or the majority of today. They are in the service of citizens, and therefore the maximum effort to reach a wider consensus has been made, said Julian Hodai. Following the decree of the law by the President, control and verification of police officers will also be launched. The final assessment will take place within 24 months after the entry of the law into force. The process will penalise those who deserve to be penalised and promote those who deserve to be promoted. If someone will resign, it is possible to do so within 30 days after the entry into force of the law, said Julian Hodai. According to Hodai, the verification will affect about 300 senior employees, 3,000 of the middle level and 9,000 effective on the ground. The process will be completed within 24 months. Persons who resign within the first 30 days of the law coming into effect will not pass the verification process. Is Artur Meçollari worthy of being part of the Maritime negotiation group? Debates and allegations have accompanied this argument during the interrogation session of Defence Minister Xhaçka. The minister has not only denied the charges that Meçollari is a spy, but responded by saying that this is an attempt at revenge by the former Prime Minister Berisha. The Defence Minister revealed the reasoning for the revenge, which has not been discussed before by the majority. Meçollari did not sign for Bisht Pala in 2012, said Xhaçka. The Defence Minister made available to the media a list of people who have refused to release Bishtpala from the plan of the proliferation of the armed forces. The 2012 list contains 16 names, and the first among them is Artur Meçollari. The strongest accusation was that of the Democratic Party MP Revaluation, who said that Meçollari was intercepted by the prosecution as a Russian co-worker. He's a Russian spy. There are intercepts, said Revaluation. The opposition announced that it would seek the establishment of an investigative commission for the Meçollari case. It has opposed the fact of its involvement in the group of negotiators for the Maritime agreement with the Greek state, for which the President of the Republic, Ilir Meta, has not yet issued full authorization for the negotiating team. Democratic Party leader Lulzim Basha accused Prime Minister Rama and the Minister of Economy and Finance, Maritime, of having taken over the entire waste recycling process. Basha said that the government has removed the licence of about 100 recycling companies. Today, Albania's Recycling Association has denounced the closure of nearly 100 businesses. The abolition of these 100 licences coincides with the introduction of total control by Edi Rama and Arben Ahmetai for the waste collection, recycling, burning and burial process in the municipality of Tirana. 2 months ago, the person who owns the incinerator of Tirana, Fir and Elbasan bought a large part of the cleaning company used by the Tirana municipality. 49% has been purchased, and it is specified in the contract that he will also take on the administration of the recycling company of Tirana municipality. The scheme aims at concentrating all the activity in the hands of Rama Ahmetai duo, condemned Basha. According to the DP chair, this paves the way for waste imports. This is the other side of the drug trade. Albania exports drugs and is getting ready to import waste. Rama has put himself in control of recycling and burning waste, he concluded. Albania and Serbia's agriculture ministries agreed to set up a joint working process for the unification and harmonisation of all accompanying certificates of products, both plant and animal. Serbian Minister Branislav Nedimovic, during the meeting he had with Minister Paleshi, expressed his willingness to speed up the process. Part of the conversation was also the exchange of experience for the growth and strengthening of typical traditional products. Serbia is a good example in revitalising these products. During the meeting, Agriculture Minister Niko Paleshi mentioned the importance of trade volume between the two countries, mainly for agricultural products, considering the two markets complementary, with the potential for further enhancement. For 2017, exports to Serbia increased by 27.8% compared with the previous year, from 1.5 billion to 2 billion lek. The main increase that contributed to the growth is that of vegetable exports. Prime Minister Edi Rama is on a visit to the US to receive the Cultural Pluralism Award. The news was published by Rama himself on his Facebook page. A special surprise ceremony today at the White House for receiving the Cultural Pluralism Award from the head of the Commission for the Protection of the American Heritage in the World, Paul Packer, wrote Edi Rama on his Facebook page. The award was given with the motivation for engaging in preserving the memory of the Holocaust and protecting historical truth. A very special honour for me, our government, and indisputably Albania, which radiates always and everywhere with its example of protecting Jewish people during the black period of World War II, continued Rama in his post. On Sunday, Prime Minister Edi Rama was an honorary guest in Washington, D.C. at a question and answer session with 18,000 members of the Israeli-American Public Affairs Committee at their annual conference. During the speech at this event, Rama highlighted the good relationship between Albania and Israel. The Prime Minister also announced the news that there will soon be direct flights between Albania and Israel. And that's the news across the country today. Thank you for watching our English edition this evening, and be sure to join me again every Monday to Saturday at 6 p.m. for the latest news from Albania. Once again, on behalf of Aura News, thank you and good night.